Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another tutorial. So today we are going to continue the lighting of this scene. So for those who didn't watch the last video, we modeled this scene using FSpy. So today we are going to light it up and also make some textures on some elements that we created last time. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. The first thing we're going to do is press Shift Alt E and create a daylight environment. The reason I'm doing it is just to see, to have some lighting in the scene, and that will be easy to create the textures and see everything. Okay, so let's make some adjustments before we get started. Okay, so the first thing you have to check is if you are using the color management in the right way. Okay, so I'm using sRGB and the exposure is set to 0. Also, in the camera, it's important that the Octane camera imager is turned on, and in the response type, set sRGB as well. Gamma, it's important that it's set to 1, and also I will apply an LUT lookup table for having some to have more contrast in the scene. Okay, maybe I increase a little bit the exposure. It's too dark. Yeah, something like this. Perfect. So I separated two textures from polygon. Okay, so I'm going to use one of these woods to the floor and the other one to the countertop. Okay, so let's get started on the floor first. So the first thing I'm going to do is change to the object and then add a material to it. So new material, and I will isolate this part so I can see it more properly. Okay, so I will import all these assets from the wood floor, the diffuse, actually the albedo, and the glossiness that I have to invert because I'm using Blender Octane use a different pipeline for textures, so different than 3ds Max. Yeah, I will create this texture displacement and I'll change it to 4K, mid-level 0.5, and increase a little bit the height. Something like that. Let me take a look. Maybe a little bit more. Not too much. 0.05. 0.005. Yeah, something like that. Now select these three textures and right click Octane and add transform and projection. Press OK and I will scale it down a little bit. Yeah, 0.2. I think it's good enough. Let me see inside the scene. Yeah, not bad. Looks pretty nice. Maybe a little bit light. So I will increase the gamma a little bit. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. Still too light. Yeah. Also, I will add a color correction to it. Color correction. Yeah, color correct. And I increase the contrast a little bit. Yeah, 0.1, I think it's good enough. Okay. The next step, I believe, is going to texture the countertop. Yeah, so we are going to add that marble from polygons. Okay, so I will import these textures inside Blender. So these ones, so the albedo, also let me see, the normal map and the roughness. Yeah, have the three main ones. Okay, so I will isolate it again, so it's better to texture it and it's faster. So plug the glossiness on the roughness, the normal map on the normal slot, and yeah, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing I've done previously. Okay, you select these three textures, right click, Octane, add transform and projection, and apply a full transform to it. So I will scale it on the Y direction, and yeah, it's pretty good. So in this step, we are just like adding texture. Probably at the end of this video, I'll be adjusting, refine the rest of these textures. Right now it's just to see the look of the scene, okay? So I'll increase a little bit the gamma to dark a little bit this countertop. Okay, so I think the next element is gonna be the vanity. So I will add a material to it, I isolate it as well. And we are going to start working on this. So I have a wood texture that actually is pretty good for general textures. So you can basically do any kind of wood based on this one. Not any kind of wood, but any kind of color actually. So I will decrease a little bit the albedo. And let me see, maybe it's better I will put this roughness in the albedo so I can see the veins of the wood. And now we are going to have to adjust the orientation of these veins. So let me scale it down a little bit and rotate it. Let me try rotate it from here. Yeah, it's not bad, but still we have to adjust it in the UV. Okay, so yeah, I think the scale 0.2 it's good enough, but let me adjust the UV. So I have to go to the editor, the edit mode, and I will select these parts that are inverted and I will rotate it in the UV. Okay, so select this part, this one, this one, this one, this, and yeah, maybe let me try let me see if I can select it. Okay, and select it from the UV and rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, so yeah, this part is still inverted, so I have to select these ones as well. Okay, so this one, this, and this one. Let me see this part here. Also, this part we have to select. This one, this one, this. Yes. Yeah, another one here. Okay. This one, this one, this one. I think, yeah, we got it. Select everything and rotate it 90 degrees as well. Okay. Yeah, I think now it's good enough. Maybe it's still too big. Go back to the shader editor and I scale it down a little bit to 0.1 maybe. Yeah, it's pretty good, not bad. So I'll change to the roughness and decrease the albedo a little bit. I will plug this full transform to the roughness and to the normal as well. Okay, so plug the roughness. Oops, this is not the roughness, this is the ambient occlusion. So let me find, where is it? Here. Okay, so also I have the albedo. So I plug the albedo because I think it will be more natural. Instead of just using a color. Okay, so yeah, good. Here, apply to the normal, and yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let me see inside the scene. Yep, very nice. Looks really nice. Looks really realistic as well. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with this result. So let's move on and go to the next object, this one. So I isolate this object as well, so you can see properly it. As I'm going to use the same wood of the Vanity, I name it properly, and I'll duplicate this wood. You're going to use the same wood from the Vanity in this object here. Okay, so yeah. So probably we are going to have to do the same thing we've done on the Vanity. Okay, I will plug the roughness in the albedo just to see the veins and see what direction it's going. So I go to the edge mode again, and I select the inverted pieces and invert it from the UV. Okay, so these parts, this one, this one, this one, this one, this, and this one. Okay, so select everything, rotate it 90 degrees, and oops, something went wrong. Let me try again. 90 degrees. Yeah, actually my non-lock was not activated. So I will apply the same material to this upper part here. Also I have to rotate it 90 degrees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not bad. So let me go back to the shader editor, plug the albedo in the albedo slot. And yeah, so this guy over here is another kind of wood, actually different color. So I have something similar on my library, and I think I'll use it. Okay, so let me see. Not bad. Maybe I have to adjust the UVs as well and increase a little bit the scale, but other than that, it's pretty good. Okay, so we select this part and oops, I turn it upside down. So, and this part, this one and this one. Okay, select everything and rotate 90 degrees. Okay, maybe, yeah, I'll import the rest of the bitmaps, and I plug the glossiness on the roughness and the normal on the normal. Perfect. Select everything and apply the transform, full transform on it. Scale it down a little bit, maybe just on the x-axis, y-axis actually, and the x-axis, maybe the x-axis is the right one. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, not bad at all. Let me see it inside the scene. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Okay, so I think the next one is the sink over here. So this is metal. So let me change it to a metallic shader. So albedo, I will decrease a little bit the color. Metallic, increase it to 1. Roughness a little bit because it is it's not a completely chrome material, so it's polished. So it's not polished actually, it's brushed brushed metal. So yeah, so I have to give this brushed feeling, increase the roughness. So I think I have somewhere over here I stretch metal that I can use it in the roughness slot, but I'm not completely sure where is it. Let me just try to see some of these textures. Too many textures, sometimes it's difficult to find it. I'm not completely sure. I think I have it, but let me see. Nothing here. Stretches. Yeah, it's here. Okay. So I use it and I will plug it on the maybe on the roughness. Yeah. I will plug it in the albedo first, just to see the orientation of this texture and change the orientation of this texture using the UV. Okay, so I think I can select maybe everything and rotate it. Yeah, perfect. Looks great. So unplug it from the albedo and plug it on the roughness. Okay. Not bad. Maybe I'll decrease the gamma a little bit. The sun is not helping to see the shader, but inside the scene, definitely you'll be better. Okay. Not bad. So the high resolution probably you see it better. Okay, so the next step is these guys over here, the sailing lighting. Okay, so let me select this guy over here and actually the entire fixture, something like that. Okay, yeah. I isolate this guy and I work on the materials. Okay, so this guy is a chrome guy. Maybe I can add some stretches to it. Yeah, I plug it on. Yeah, specular is not a good idea, I think. Maybe, yeah, the roughness. Yeah, so the gamma, you decrease it a lot, invert it, and see if you can get some specular. I think the UV is not open, so I have to open the UV. But first, I think this object is not in a quad geometry, so Yeah, but maybe I can take care of it later. I don't know. Let me delete this. Okay, I will just unwrap it, and then after later on I can take care of it. I think it's the best solution right now. So yeah, unwrap it. Yeah, that's it. Here you go. Okay, maybe it's too big. I have to decrease a little bit the size of it, but yeah, it's not bad. Just let me apply a full transform and decrease the scale a little bit. 0 0.5, 0 0.1. Yeah, 1 is better. Okay, the gamma can maybe, yeah, maybe can leave it 0 0.1. Maybe you can apply a gray gradient texture actually, so you can even decrease and give this softness look. So yeah. So this part is a glass material, so I will create this specular material. Roughness I set 0, and reflection, yeah, it's a good one. It's not bad. Let me keep it. This guy, I think I have a gold material already set up. Let's just me find it. Yeah, this one, gold one, and I'll apply it for the rest of the object. So okay, we speed up this part a little bit because I don't think it's something important. Okay, let me see inside it. I will duplicate it and yeah, and place it on the right position. Yeah, something like this. Okay, let me see the render, and yeah, not bad at all. Very nice actually. Seems that this fixture close to the camera is a little darker than the other one, but the reason is that the place where the camera is darker, and that's the reason. That maybe we can light it up a little bit in the post-production. So yeah, it's not something bad. Okay, so let's move forward and go to the lighting setup. Okay, let me check my camera. I will remove this background from my camera and apply the rest of the the affect alpha, so we can place the background. Okay, so as you can see here, the sunlight is coming from the window and bouncing some lights on this side of the image. So what we are going to do is try to replicate it. So I changed to the kernel, and I will just click and drag on this sphere and try to move it and try to get the same result of my image. Okay, so just keep dragging it and you can see that the sunlight start moving. Okay, so I think it's something like that. So the sun bounce the light and give this warm feeling. Also increase a little bit the sun size just to not have this hardish light on my wall. So it's a little bit soft. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Maybe you can adjust the white balance of my camera and just click on the white balance and give it some bluish color so we can bring some warmth to the image. Also, I will probably, let me see. I don't know, I think I will increase a little bit the exposure. It's a little bit darker. Yeah, maybe something like this. Also, the marble is not too reflective. I will decrease a little bit the gamma of my glossiness, and so I can have this reflective look on the marble in this countertop. Yeah, something like this. It's better. Yeah, the faucet also I decrease a little bit the albedo because it was too shiny. The floor is still too light. Maybe I increase the gamma and give some darkness to it. Yeah, something like this, I think. I'm looking at my reference on my other screen, okay, so that's why I'm comparing it. Okay, here this part as well is a little lighter, so I decrease the gamma. So maybe my sailing is not light enough, so I will add a plane on the ground and increase it quite a lot. The reason I'm doing that is I think I have already explained it in another video, but the sun and the environment outside bounce the light on the plane and it bounce back to my scene. So as you can see, my sailing light right now is much lighter than before. And also I can control how dark my scene can be using this this plane outside. Okay, so just by increasing and decrease the albedo color. Okay, I'm seeing a problem on the glasses on this vase here. So as you can see, it's the vase on the other side is black, and the reason is because my max glossy depth actually is too low. So if I increase it like to 32, for example, it disappears, so I can see through the glass. Okay, so I increase all these ones, all these scattered depth and diffuse depth as well to 32. Okay, adaptive sampling, it needs to be turned on, otherwise it renders forever, and that's not good. Okay, so let me take general view here. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. Okay, the lighting is following the same as the reference, but you can always change the lighting and make as you want. Okay, so maybe I'll show you. I'll change it to the kernel type. Yeah, and you can always like play around with this sphere and bring more sunlight into the scene. So change the orientation, see if other positions you can get better results, but I will follow like the same result, okay, the same as my reference. So, but if, for example, in this case, as you can see, there is more lighting in the scene because of the sun, so you have to decrease the exposure. Okay, so you have to always play with the sun, the outside, the environment, the HDRI, and play with your exposure as well. So you have to balance it. Okay, I'll increase a little bit the gamma to bring more darkness, and I will decrease the vignette. This is something that I really use it in the post-production. So I will turn on Octane post-processing, increase a little bit the glare power to give some bloom in the scene. Okay, it's good. I think there is an element missing in this image. I will actually import a plant on that side, on the right side of the image, so the composition I think will be better. So I just adjust it. I'll speed up the video a little bit because there is anything fancy at all about it. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is just change the color of the walls. Actually, I think I didn't apply any materials to it, so I will put some warm color to look like more as the reference is, and I think this will be our last touch. Okay, and before render it in high resolution, sorry. And yeah, so just I change the name of the material to wall, apply it to the ceiling as well, and yeah, that's it. So basically this is what you got, and very close to the reference. I'm very excited to see the final result in high resolution. Okay, so I will get back to you as soon as I render it. Okay, so here is the last image, the last result actually. I just applied background in Photoshop, and yeah, it was basically that. I didn't do anything else. So the render took me around 20 minutes to render 4K. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.